My name is Randy Pitchford, and I'm the president of Gearbox Software.
I'm Colonel John Antel, United States Army retired, the historical director for Gearbox Software, and we're here today to show you our new game, Brothers in Arms, Earned in Blood, and we think you're really going to like it.
I'm really excited about this game and the Brothers in Arms series. When Brian Martell and I, he's the director of Earned in Blood, when we first started talking about making a game about a squad of soldiers, we remember back to our childhood when we had the little plastic paratroopers and their plastic parachutes, and I'm sure everybody's had this as a kid where we throw those paratroopers off of our balconies.
And when Randy and Brian were throwing toy paratroopers off their balconies, I was actually jumping out of an aircraft as a real paratrooper in the American Army.
Well, we love the fantasy, and we're really proud of the time we spent with Colonel Antal and how much he's taught us about what these men did, and using this medium we have, this interactive entertainment medium, to recreate their stories and to tell their true stories and basically build a time machine so we can go back to 1944 and experience what these men did.
Let's go ahead and show them the game.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play a section of Earned in Blood. This takes place right after the end of Road to Hill 30 when Hartsock is promoted to squad leader, and we take on the role of Hartsock.
When were you promoted?
Now, in Earned in Blood, you're going to see the whole perspective from Hartsock's viewpoint.
We had a little ceremony at the base of a church. It was cut short by German mortar fire coming from the south side of town.
Was anyone hit?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Matt Cassie, sir.
Who was in charge then?
Well, I'd just been promoted, but it still felt like I was following Baker around. It was probably for the best at the time.
How much resistance did you encounter?
It went in and out, I think. Krauts weren't supposed to shoot at me. A little bastard.
Help me get him up. That's Sergeant Matt Cassie, and over here to your left, you see Baker.
That's
and
Baker.
Randy, of course, is driving all this. He's looking around from his viewpoint as Corporal Red Hartsock.
So now I'm Hartsock. Actually, I've just been promoted to sergeant.
That's right.
So now I'm in command of second squad. That's Baker, who we played in the first game.
Two separate routes and meet back at the plaza. No point in wasting a bunch of words. Let's just get this done.
I'm in control, of course. You know, a lot of the story just takes place around us. In fact, there's the Cathedral of Carentan, where next to that cathedral is where Hartsock was given his promotion. That cathedral really exists. I've been up in that tower there. These men here, these men are all part of second squad, and Hartsock's their new leader. Hartsock has to earn the respect of these men. He has to earn the credibility, and that's why we call the game Earned in Blood.
Looks like we get to play Exterminator.
Just like Road to Hill 30, Brothers in Arms, our first game, you'll see that in this game, everything's authentic. This is Carentan as it looked in 1944.
So soon. At least we're following you this time.
Now, these men have
Should I follow?
thousands of more lines to say. In fact, everything they have to talk about changes from mission to mission. And also their look changes. You'll see their facial hair grow in. You'll see them, the scars and bloodshot eyes as they get tired and exhausted. It's really neat to see these characters change over time, and that's a big deal of what this game's about, the brotherhood between soldiers and these real men that we fight with.
We have an interactive world. Nothing like going bird hunting right before combat.
Bring my men up. One of the things that was great about Brothers in Arms is the new squad command system Gearbox invented for it that allows me to give very simple commands to my fire team and my assault team. I can give a move order by maneuvering that cursor and saying, hey, move there. Or I could tell them to attack by pointing at an enemy.
Those icons you see, as you know, if you've played Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, are the suppression icons. When they're red, that means it's dangerous, and the enemy is shooting at you. When they're white, that means the enemy is suppressed, and you can now move. Suppression is an important part of tactics, and it's a vital part of Brothers in Arms.
You can turn the suppression icons off if you don't like them in the options menu, but I like to play them on because I'm not a trained soldier like Colonel Antal, and it helps me understand the state of the enemy. Right, you can see right now, those guys are hiding behind cover because I'm putting bullets on them. They don't want to get shot. They're acting like real people, right? They're not just standing there waiting for me to train my cursor on them. So I'm going to get a flank on them. I'm going to maneuver to their side and see if I can take them out.
Now, the other hallmark of Brothers in Arms, Earned in Blood, is squad combat, and you just saw the Germans react. We have an enhanced German AI system that makes the enemy find you, fix you with fire, flank you, and try to finish you. So the German tactics are much more aggressive.
See, they just maneuvered on me. In the first game, we relied upon a system we called situational AI, and our designers could give the Germans commands. Well, now we have a more aggressive system that happens dynamically and gives a lot more maneuverability to the Germans.
I think we're giving up that
You see you're in an urban combat environment
That
here.
building just blew up. Yeah, take a look around, right? If you look, think about Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. You think about a typical screenshot, right? You'd see the Norman hills and the green fields and the hedgerows. Well, this environment is much more natural. It's a city environment, and it's urban, and there's buildings getting destroyed. And these are the real roads. I've been on this road in Normandy. Now, it's been cleaned up since 1944, but these are the real roads and the real houses, and in Earned in Blood, we have to liberate them, building by building, street by street.
So our hallmarks are squad combat, brotherhood, and authenticity, and you can see how we've woven all these together to create a really exciting game for you.
And what I did is I brought my two teams up, and I have them both firing at the enemy, so now if I flank them, if that enemy tries to get up and react, my men will shoot them. So they won't be able to react to me. I'll be able to flank them, and I'll get a nice... Look at that, he doesn't even know I'm here. Oh, he just saw me. Yeah.
So since Randy has fixed him, he was able to maneuver.
Yeah, there's somebody on the second level.
Good shot.
Look at him hit that window there. Real physics, of course.
Now, there's a lot of other games out there that don't use real physics yet, and that's just too bad, because this is one of the things that makes our game so authentic.
Okay, that was what you call putting the enemy on the horns of a dilemma. That guy was in bad shape, right? I had my fire team and my assault team firing down this road. I hit him from the flank. I put a grenade at his feet. This guy had no choice but to die. And that's an unfair fight, which is exactly what you want in real combat. That's what tactics are all about.
So Randy just employed proper tactics. He found the enemy, he fixed him with fire, he flanked him, then he finished him. Now let's go over here. Let's see what we can find. Now it looks like there's an enemy unit up there. In fact, that enemy squad has two sections. Randy, what I'd like you to do is to put all your fire on the right section, and let's show our viewers what happens if you don't fix the enemy, what the enemy will do.
Okay, that's interesting. What Colonel Ansel's asked me to do is to purposefully make a mistake. He's asked me to put all of my fire on one unit here on the right and ignore this unit here. That means that unit will be free to maneuver. I'm going to try to flank them myself, and we'll see what that unit does. Check it out. They're maneuvering, right? I'm not suppressing them. They're maneuvering. They're flanking me right now. I got to get my men out of there. They're using fire maneuver on my team.
The Germans are taking down your squad. Okay, let's go to situation awareness view.
Just killed my entire fire team.
Now this is situation awareness view. This is one of the ways in Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood that you actually get a chance to see what the ground looks like. It doesn't lift the fog of war. It only shows you the enemy that you actually have seen in combat. But the reason I asked Randy to do this was because what you just saw was pretty groundbreaking. The enemy maneuvered against us. The enemy actually uses tactics against us.
They came down a flank and hit my team from the side.
Much more dynamic game now because what you have is really enhanced squad combat.
Now check this out. I've got a really bad problem right now, right? This team there's two teams fighting against me. They've got me surrounded. This is the team that was on the right there that I was suppressing, and this is the team that flanked me. If I follow human instinct and stay put and just keep my cover and fire back at them, they will suppress me, they will surround me, they will flank me, and they will kill me. I have to be aggressive right now. I have to do a quick offensive counterattack. I'm going to move down this line with my assault team, and I'm going to hit them from the side.
So Randy has to do this the airborne way. He has to attack. Combat is about attack, counterattack, counterattack. About action, reaction, counteraction. So he's got to move.
Take cover!
Time is of the
Fast.
essence.
Check it out. Look at that. They're displacing. They're falling back. They know I'm after them. They know I've got them. They didn't expect me to counterattack so quickly.
He's down!
Got him. Good job.
I think I got one of them. I think my fire team or my assault team got the other
right.
two guys. Sometimes in combat you don't know exactly where who's getting the kills. It's pretty chaotic in combat. And look, there's the other team. Look at what's happened here. I've turned the entire battlefield around.
Now this is pretty groundbreaking too. Imagine this isn't a corridor shooter. This is a wide world. We've now gone where the enemy was, and we're now shooting from the opposite direction.
Yeah. In fact, they used that flank against me. I'm going to try to see if I can use the same flank against
Hurry
them.
up, over there!
See what they do. Look, they're maneuvering.
Yeah, see, they're acting to you.
Than me. I was purposely being not smart earlier, but they're reacting almost like linebackers on a line in a football field. How they react to the other team's maneuvers. I'm going to come back this way. Let's see if they go back to the right. Let's see. Oh, look, they're maneuvering to the left, a little bit
So you
farther
see
now.
action, reaction, counteraction. Okay.
I didn't expect that decision, but it makes sense because if I charge them down this lane, they've got a field of fire. I actually expected them to go back to the right there, but I'm going to speed things up a little bit because...
Let's assault these guys and move on.
Yeah, okay.
Assault!
I'm going to go down to the flank as fast as I can, send my team forward to attack them.
More damage! I'm out! Took down enough!
Oh, watch. Flank security.
Got
You got him. Good shot.
Oh, look at that. I'm going to take it.
This is one of the many new games weapons that we have in the game. This is an FG-42, which is a German paratrooper rifle. Very effective, very much ahead of its time. It was both semi-automatic and fully automatic. It had a 4-power scope.
I love this weapon. It's the Fallschirmjäger weapon. That's the German paratrooper. And look at this scope. And look at this. This is interesting. Here's an encounter that I've kind of come at it at a different angle. In the first Brothers in Arms games, all the encounters kind of started the same way, where the enemy was ready for you, and you suppress them and you flank them. Here's a case where I'm sneaking up behind these guys, and they don't know I'm behind them. They're engaged with another allied unit. It's not my own unit. They're engaged with a different allied unit. The crossroad here is actually the road I started on, so if I just headed down that road, I'd be in the middle of this encounter right now, or I'd actually be in front of the guys. So I can approach this from a lot of different ways depending on how I play the game. In this case, I've got the drop on him, so I'm going to take advantage of that. Got that guy. Okay, that guy's reacting.
I mean, he actually got shot by somebody else.
Yeah, that was the other team. See, that guy tried to get to cover over here. He saw me. He saw my position, returned fire, tried to get to this corner for cover, and this other allied unit over here killed him. That's actually Baker. Look at that.
Red! We're going to continue moving around them!
He knew I was looking at him, so he had a response for me. If I just ignored him and moved on, he would too. This is that road I was talking about where I started on, and I could have come down this way, and I'd have been in front of that encounter. So
it gives you an idea of how big the world is and how these teams actually fight together. You see, combat's all about teamwork. It's all about units fighting together. It's not about one guy taking on the world.
Yeah, another thing, I also showed that separate encounter. I happen to know where this 88 is in this map because I've played it before, so I'm going to go ahead and show it to you from the backside. Normally I might reach this from the front, but I want to show you how he simulated this gun. This is an 88mm cannon. Let me get a better view of it from inside the house. John, tell us about this gun.
German 88 is both anti-personnel, anti-tank, and anti-aircraft. It's a very effective multi-purpose cannon, 88mm, and it was the most feared weapon in the German arsenal against tanks, infantry, and even aircraft. So it's really something that we need to take out, and right now you see that crew of that 88 doing the functions of a real 88 crew. The guy to the right has a rangefinder. That's a stereoscopic rangefinder that he's looking through. It basically works the same way that an old camera did with 2 images, and once he puts those 2 images together, he gets a range. He shouts that range off to the gun crew, and then that gunner uses a choke sight to find the range, and then put that crosshairs on the enemy target.
There's a security team right here. They don't see me yet.
You better, you might want to switch weapons here too.
Hold on. Shoot, now they know I'm here. They know I'm here now. Look, that guy's reacting. He put down the rangefinder, pulled out a rifle.
Yeah, very good. But you're in bad positions. Let's get out of there.
Suppressed. Okay, hold on. Let me switch to...
This is another one of our new weapons. This is the M3 grease gun. And the M3 grease gun is a .45 caliber submachine gun. I used to carry one of these when I was a battalion commander in Korea on the demilitarized zone in the 1990s. And it's quite an effective close combat weapon.
Look at that. They're turning the gun on me.
That's right. You better get out of there.
I'm going to leave.
And one of the things you want to do when you're in close combat in a urban environment is you want to try to get elevation on the enemy whenever you can. So if you can find a second-story building, you might be able to take away some of the enemy's cover by shooting down on it.
That 88 can take out a building, so I have to be careful.
Okay, there's that security team. Look out. Hey, what's that 88 doing? Okay, they're turning the gun on you. You better be careful.
Oh, shoot.
Red! Red! Get out of that house!
That's probably good advice. Okay, get out of the house.
Yeah, I'm going to leave. This is bad. They're going to shoot me.
Oh. I hear that ringing in your ears. I've had artillery fall near me, and when that happens, that's what that ringing sounds like. So what you have to do is you have to pick up your gun now, soldier, and get back in the fight.
Yeah, that was a serious concussion that knocked me off my feet, knocked the gun out of my hand, I blinded.
They said that 88's a bad thing.
There's a 88 down there! We're gonna need you to take your squad and start moving with us around these buildings!
Cool. All right, take them under fire. Let's get out of here. Withdraw.
That's actually all we're going to show you right now, Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood. This game comes out on October 6th, 2005. It comes out on the Xbox, the PC, and the PlayStation 2. In addition to a huge single-player game that's as big as the first one, there's also a multiplayer game, competitive multiplayer game that includes an entirely new set of missions, and we're bringing the original missions forward so you can play them. And there's also a new game mode, which is a cooperative game mode, an entirely new set, a custom set of campaign missions for cooperative gameplay. And you can be Baker, and you can find me on Xbox Live or on the internet on the PC, and I can be Hartsock, and we can play together side by side in a cooperative gameplay. And it's really, really exciting. So look for more information about Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood on the Gearbox website at www.gearboxsoftware.com, or check your favorite gaming website or magazine for previews.
And remember, Earned in Blood has some really interesting features, but mostly it's about authenticity, it's about brotherhood, and it's about squad combat. You're going to like it, and thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.